Good morning. Today is March 13th, 2022. I want to share with you something that I heard from Rabbi Melech Biederman. The book that we read on Purim is not called Megillas Purim, the story of Purim, or Megillas Mordechai, the story of Mordechai, or Megillas Shushan, the story of Shushan, or any other name that you might think it would be. It is, of course, Megillas Esther, the story of Esther. And how the book gets that name is discussed in the Talmud. The Talmud says that Esther sent a message to the Chachamim, to the rabbis who were legislating the details of what would become the holiday of Purim. Sholchu lechem Esther lechachamim. Esther sent a message to the Chachamim, Kizvuni ledoros. Write me for generations. Write down my story for all time. And so they wrote Megillas Esther, the story of Esther, Esther's story, because she said, write my story. Why would Esther want this? Why would Esther say to the Chachamim, write about me? Is it because she wanted recognition? Is it because she wanted honor? She thought that her role was more important than anybody else? Is that what she thought? That is certainly not what she thought. There is one aspect to this story that Esther understood must be known and remembered for all time in every generation. Esther was an orphan. She had no father. She had no mother. At the time that the events start in the Megillah, she is at the lowest point in her life. And as it proceeds, her life was in fact in danger more than once, as our rabbis explain. And from that low point in her life, when she and anyone else might have predicted what possibly could become of such a person, from that, she became the queen of 127 countries, and she is the only woman so far in all of Jewish history who succeeded in saving the entire Jewish people from destruction. So when a person goes through challenges, especially now, and they could be difficult challenges, it doesn't matter how small they are, it doesn't matter how large they are, we should remember that there was an Esther Hamalka, there was a Queen Esther, who went through the most terrible difficulties. And from those difficulties, she triumphed, and we should remember that it was exactly through those difficulties and the hardship she endured that caused her to triumph and caused her to become the queen of 127 countries and the savior of the entire Jewish people. And that's why Esther says, Kizvuni ledoros, tell my story. Tell it as my story. Tell the story of what I achieved from where I came from. And the message to every one of us, every time we open the book of Esther, Esther is saying directly to every one of us, to you and me, Esther says, if I could do that from where I came from, you and me, you could do the same. and maybe even more. And that is Esther's message. That is Esther's story that had to be written down, Kisvuni Lidoros, write my story for all generations, because that will inspire individuals going through the worst experiences in their life, just as I was inspired, and maybe even more. My friends, I want to wish you a great day, and I look forward to seeing all of you soon in person.